Redline Radio LLC is proud to partner with Growing Wings Adult Services for the creation of our brand new state-of-the-art production studio. Growing Wings Adult Services has been assisting adults with disabilities in the Northeast Ohio area for the past 5 years. For more information on how Lisa and the team at Growing Wings can assist your family, you can contact Lisa at 234-334-7547 today. Detroit Auto Parts is the official parts store of Red Line Radio LLC. They have 2 convenient locations on the east side. You can call 216-531-7373, or on the west side, call 216-398-7373. Mention Red Line Radio and receive 10% off your purchase. It's the official home and auto parts store of Red Line Radio LLC. If you need any custom t-shirts, banners, stickers, anything like that made, then you reach out to Incredible Keepsakes. As Diane always says, cherished moments are made to last forever. You can reach Incredible Keepsakes at 440-242-9648 or check out their websites at incrediblekeepsakes.com. And don't forget to mention that Redline Radio sent you. For all of our programming information, you can check us out on all social media platforms. You can listen to all of our great programming and live 24-hour music on the Redline Radio LLC app. You can find it on the Google Play Store, but you can also check us out at redlineradiolllc.com, where we are always live.
This is really gross, but dirty trash cans can pose a serious health risk to you and your family. The pungent smell can attract rats and flies, not to mention maggots, both of which can contain dangerous diseases transferable to humans. Your dirty trash can is susceptible to harboring dangerous bacteria. Contact Brandon at Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning today at 440-752-1533 or find them on Facebook. Veteran owned and operated and eco-friendly. Again, call Brandon at 440-752-1533.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Talking about balls.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talking About Balls. I am Justin George, joined as always by Kyle Price and Tim Buck2. What is up, fellas?
Well, I tried to call off today. Did you get my notice?
I must have missed the memo.
I tried not to come, but I'm here.
So for those of you that are new to the show, we are doing Kyle's punishment today. The Golden State Warriors did, of course, win the NBA championship in 6 games, as I predicted. Spot on. Game 6. To start for the punishment, though, we have right here, we have Bean Boozled, it's called. So for those of you at home, if you want to look that up on Amazon, that is actual Jelly Belly jelly beans, and each flavor has 2 colors. One color could be a good flavor, one might be the bad one. So for instance, we have ones that are a little bit yellow tinted for buttered popcorn, or you might get one that's yellow tinted and it's rotten eggs. So
I've had eggs before in the show, so I'm okay with the eggs.
he did eat raw eggs. So during the show, I get to kind of like a dog treat. I get to do this for Kyle.
I got a new dog this week, so it kind of fits.
We got two. I'll let you just pick one on the top there. So we have.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm taking both.
Okay, there you go. You got two to choose from.
We got
right there.
either booger or juicy pear, or stink bug and toasted marshmallow.
Bottoms
Honestly,
up.
if one's good, one's bad, it's gonna taste weird.
Down the hatch. Let's see what happens here. So this is part 1 of the punishment. I know most of you are probably here for part 2 of the punishment, which is
okay. So that's.
Could I get the stun gun actually? Could I just show the people at home that we have a real stun gun in the studio right now?
I legit got booger
Okay.
and toasted marshmallow. So
All right,
if you ever want to know
boogery
what it tasted
marshmallow.
like,
So you just ate what probably a lot of like 3-year-olds are going to eat this weekend during the 4th of July. All right, so this is it. This is the Viper Tech.
oh, it's live.
For those of you at home that wanted to hear
Why don't you
that.
put it closer and test it out? See how it goes.
I'll do that in a little bit with you. So that's what we're here for. You are here listening live, Talking About Balls, the #1 show at Redline Radio. I see Dave in the comments saying Steel City Renegades is the true #1 show, but I have 2 papers that say otherwise, so I don't know how else you could defend that unless...
I mean, honestly, talking about balls doesn't take 5 months off a year, so it's okay.
Yeah, I don't need to charge the batteries for half a year. I can keep going. That's what we do.
What's a vacation like, Dave? Tell us about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're only doing 3 shows a year, it must be pretty nice. I don't know what that's like. But I know last week we did end the show. We were talking about the 1-year wonders thing, and we were going to do the Cleveland edition. We are going to do that next week, or next episode. So we'll do that then. We had to push it back. We got a lot to talk about this week. Kyle's punishment. We have Deshaun Watson settling. We had the championships in hockey and NBA. We had the draft in the NBA already. We have free agency starting. We have the Guardians to talk about, Colin Sexton, plenty of shit. We're going to get right to it. Dave said Kyle's going to shit himself. It's very possible, I swear. I saw the picture of this taser today. I went right on Amazon to look up reviews and kind of see, like, is it really powerful? Because I let Kyle buy it himself. My wife has a taser, which I thought we were going to use. Kyle went ahead and got
Did you
himself
think I was
one.
going to puss out and get like a battery-operated one?
I was worried that you were going to show it to me and it was going to say Little Tykes on it, and I was kind of worried.
Fisher Price, brand name,
Yeah,
baby.
so I was kind of worried for a little bit that was going to be the case, but I'll give him credit. He got a real deal taser. It's legit. I looked up the reviews, and one guy, verbatim, said he goes, I'm 6'1", 215. I train martial arts. I like to consider myself relatively tough. I accidentally tased myself.
Go eat shit, Mike.
He said, I accidentally tased myself in the right arm, and I felt it from my arm through my chest all the way down my other arm, and I collapsed. And the guy said, I've had kidney stones, and I've never felt pain like that before. And when I read that, that gave me the energy that I needed to get ready to come to the show.
There's so many people who think I'm going to fall today with this. I'm telling you right now, I'm not falling. I will bet everybody who says you're falling $1. I'm not falling.
All right.
Dollar plate bet's a big thing for us. People
Sure,
don't know this, but
sure.
we do dollar plate bets all the time. So
Absolutely.
anybody who says $1, anybody says he's falling, I bet you $1 I don't fall.
I'm gonna bet $5 that he gonna take it like a champ.
Oh, all right. That's
Tim,
Big money,
in
Tim.
my corner,
Tim stepping up.
like a true producer, he should be.
So everyone in the comments, if you guys want to start placing your bets right now on what's going to happen with Kyle, we're going to do the punishment a little later in the show. I didn't want to start off with it. Just in case if something happened, I don't want to have to carry the entire show by myself if Kyle has to go down the street to Southwest Hospital. I figured he could be here for at least half of it. So
You're
we're going to
making
do it
my
a little
wife
later.
feel so happy to hear all this stuff.
We're going to do it a little later. I'm letting her ease into the show.
Yeah,
At least
okay.
she'll get to enjoy this. She'll have her final footage of you possibly ever. So she gets this as a little memory.
Let's get into it.
Let's get right down to it. The Golden State Warriors did, of course, win the NBA championship in 6 games. They beat the Boston Celtics. Pretty boring championship, if I'm being honest. Most of the games
Boston tried.
They did. They gave a great effort. I mean, I said it as the playoffs were progressing. I said Golden State had an easy road to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Boston's a good team, but to me, they're not a legitimate championship contending team. I feel like you have to kind of get to that point. Boston, that's a young team. They might be in it for years to come, but their first time there, going up against how many championships do they have? They have 4
This is their fourth now.
Yeah, this is their fourth. 4-time NBA champions now. You have Klay Thompson, you have Steph Curry, you've got Draymond, you've got Steve Kerr. Got all these veterans. I just don't see them losing to a team like Boston. That's why I had to pick Golden State. But Golden State did have an easy ride. We talked about it last week a lot. I mean, they went up against Dallas, they went up against Memphis, and they went up against Denver. not powerhouses. Then you go up against Boston, who was a team in the beginning of the year. I think if I'm not mistaken, around the right before the All-Star break, Boston was in like 10th place. They were below 500. They weren't a really good team. They came on late. So again, not a real contender.
No.
So it irritates me that Golden State won another, not fluky, but just shitty championship. Like when they beat the Cavaliers without Kyrie Irving, without Kevin Love, they won in 15. 16, they blew the 3-1 lead. Then they had to recruit Kevin Love or Kevin Durant. And I don't know if you saw Draymond's comments the other day. That kind of made me feel good.
Oh, when he said they would never beat the Cavs.
He said if we didn't get Kevin Durant,
yeah.
he's like, we weren't beating the Cavs again.
Yeah.
So
do
that
you
was
think
really
this,
cool
do
to
you
hear.
think
But I
this
mean,
team
it doesn't
was-
mean anything.
You think
it means
this team
nothing.
is better than the team they had with Durant on the team?
This year?
Yeah.
No way. Absolutely not. This team sucks. I think if they would have had to have faced the Suns or any better team even out of the East, if they had to face I think the Heat could have probably beaten them. I think the another team, the Sixers probably could have beaten them, and I think a healthy Bucks team would have beaten this Golden State team.
I liked watching the playoffs. I watched maybe half of each finals game. I don't know about you, but I love watching the playoffs on each side. Like they had great games.
Bits and pieces
but
I watched.
when it got to the finals, I watched bits and pieces of what's going on. I checked the score more on ESPN than I actually did watching it on TV.
For the playoffs in general, I didn't watch a ton because a lot of the series weren't even that close. We had a couple. I mean, what were there? Maybe like 2 series the whole time that went to 7 games that were even close. The rest of them were kind of blowouts.
But they were more fun to watch, though. I mean,
Oh,
to
for
me,
sure.
I had no interest in this team, in this series.
No, I didn't either. Literally, the only reason I watched it was because we had the bet. What do we got? Golden State ruined basketball. Yeah, no, I get it too. I agree with you. It's just, to me, it's not Taysom in the
Dave,
Gooch.
I swear to Christ, I'm bringing this on Friday for a golf outing. I'm going to Tage in your asshole. You keep talking shit.
Yeah, Dave, anything in the Gooch area, the Grundle, as some kids call it, that's on you. I'm not going down there, so that's off limits for me. But no, I'm with you. Golden State did kind of ruin basketball. And for me, the biggest thing is, in the NBA, it's fine. They're paid professionals. They're doing what they're told to do. They're good at it, so they're coached to do these things like Golden State is. Golden State has ruined pickup basketball.
Oh, kids are just chucking up threes.
Nobody wants to play basketball anymore. It's just shooting. That's it. It's 3-point shots for everybody.
You have people sitting on the outside just waiting for the ball to come to them, because they want to chuck it up for 3.
I'm 6'4". To the common man, I'm considered tall. NBA standards, I'm not. But if I played basketball when I was growing up, I was always the center. I was the tallest guy on the court for the most part. I played down low. I got rebounds. I played like a center. Nowadays, everyone just shoots threes. There's no true centers in basketball anymore.
Did you see the ESPN? Maybe it was an ESPN or what? Maybe it was on Twitter actually. But they recorded a high school game where it was legit 5 minutes. The kid comes down the court, chucks up a 3. Other kid comes on the court, chucks up a 3, and it went back and forth, just chucking up threes for 6 minutes.
basketball.
And that's what basketball is now. It's horrible.
They were making them though.
You saw
Absolutely.
the video? I know they were making them, but it's like, what the hell, dude?
It was taking deeper and deeper shots. It was
I
crazy.
know, like the one kid stepped to the half court and hit one, right?
And that's another problem with the NBA is you got these guys that want to shoot from the logo all the time. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's not fun for me to watch. I like watching basketball. I like watching plays develop. I like watching screens and guys move the ball. Instead, you see a guy
You
just
like
go
watching that 1950 basketball, huh?
Yeah, I love it. I honestly, ball movement is so fun to watch in basketball. If you see a nice, beautifully designed offensive play where the ball everyone touches it, the ball barely touches the ground, like the Cavs did that a lot. They passed a lot this year.
Right.
It was really fun to watch.
The Warriors actually do that though.
They do. Sometimes they move the ball a lot, but then you have Steph who, I mean, in one of the games, and this was the embarrassing thing for Boston, Steph Curry had a game in the finals where he had 0 3-pointers. That guy is the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. It's documented now in history. And he had a game in the finals where he missed every single 3-pointer, and they still
I think
won
he
the
went
game.
0 for 12, right?
Yeah, still won the game.
But what does that tell you?
It just tells me that the game, I mean, Golden State's a damn good team,
Yeah.
even without Steph Curry. But also, again, Boston just didn't step up. Too young, lights were too bright. Not a really fun series, not a memorable series. Honestly, this is the kind of finals that in 5 years, if I'm at a bar doing trivia and someone's like, who won the 2021 NBA Finals or 22, whatever you want to call it, I'll go, fuck, who? I have to sit there and think for
I'm
a
pretty
minute,
sure in like
honestly.
a 7-year difference, you can throw the name Golden State out and you'll probably be correct.
I mean, yes and no. They
They
had a
won
long
2000, what, 14, 15, 17,
gap. No, they only won, so they won 15 championship.
15, 17, 18.
Yep.
And then they won 21.
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's
it's-
not. I mean, there's a little bit of a gap. They lost to Toronto, they lost to Cleveland, so it's not like the Patriots dynasty or anything like that. But either way, I'm happy the season's over because when one season ends, my favorite part of the season begins, and that's the off season. You guys know that I love that. So the NBA draft happened, but before we get to that, congratulations to another championship team and that is the Colorado Avalanche, who beat the 2-time defending champion Tampa Bay Lightning.
They beat the brakes off of
They
them.
really did. The Avalanche were a great team. I mean, I don't know if you watched any of that, but
I watched the one game where they blew them out, I think 7-1.
Yeah.
That's the one time I tuned in to watch it.
So I
And
watched
by the
as
time
much
I
as
tuned
I
it in,
could.
it was like 6 to whatever. It was like, this is fucking crazy.
yeah, I watched as much as I could of the games. The one thing I hate about hockey is the intermissions. It's too long.
Where they break out and go to the locker
I
room.
seem to always turn it on at an intermission, and it's like a 25-minute intermission. So I'm like, fuck, I'm going to find something else to watch. And next thing you know, I forget that the hockey game's on.
Right.
But I did watch the final game. I think it went to game 6, if I'm not mistaken. And the Avalanche played a fantastic defense. I'm not a huge hockey guy. I like the LA Kings, as I said last week, so I don't watch a lot of
We
hockey.
talk about hockey so many times on this show. I'm
trying to get it in a little bit. I'm trying.
So I'll talk about golf. You talk about hockey. We'll forget about
Hockey's
soccer.
actually fun,
so
though,
it's
and like
okay.
a cool sport. Golf is
actually very fun.
it's fun to sleep if you're watching. That's about it.
Try playing it once in a while.
I have. I did. It wasn't that fun. It wasn't for me. Gone to driving ranges. I like driving the cart around when I'm drinking. That's about it.
Oh, you play the cart girl role. That's cute.
I mean, I was drinking and driving the cart.
Drinking White Claws too while you're doing it.
No, I have actually no. When I was doing it, White Claws weren't even invented the last time I golfed. That's how long it's been. White Claws are fine. It's the same alcohol content as beer.
It's horrible. Calm down.
Take away the 2 blowouts and there's a close series. Oh yeah, I mean it was a good series. Honestly, the hockey series was very good. But just that last game, the defense Colorado played. I mean, they held Tampa to hardly any shots on goal. It was great. Mike, come on, Mike. You play rec sports for fun, man. You bowl, you golf, you play softball. You have no room to talk about hockey. Let's be honest here.
Golf
It
is
may be fun to play.
not watch. No, actually, you know what? Nothing's better than a Sunday afternoon, hungover, sitting on your couch, putting golf in the background, and just relaxing. That's a great Sunday for me.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. I'd rather paint the wall and stare at it while it dries than turn on golf. But I digress. So yeah, shout out to the Colorado Avalanche. We don't talk a lot of hockey on here, but
So they already opened up as a favorites.
yeah, they're a good team.
They're the
young.
favorites for next year, and then they're followed closely by Toronto as the second favorites for next year for the finals.
Rightfully so. I mean, again, as I said last week, this is the first year that the Kings, I'm a Kings fan, they made the playoffs since we've been doing the show. The Kings haven't been good in a long time. They've gone through a bad spell. And it was fun for me to get back into hockey because they were in the playoffs.
Does
and they actually
still play for the Kings?
Yeah, he still does. He laces them up
Sweet.
every night.
That's the last time
it's
I watched
awesome.
hockey.
Him and Mario Lemieux, they face off. It's great. It's really fun. But yeah,
Pittsburgh versus LA.
so I play what? What's he talking about?
He's talking about him playing rec sports. He asking what you play.
Nothing.
With himself.
I talk about it. I don't play it. I'm in my 30s. I've given up the dream of sports. And rightfully so. That's why there's not big crowds at softball games, because people are like, yeah, it's not really how I want to spend my weekend, watching old men blow their knees out, playing slow pitch. It's not my idea of a good
It's
time.
a very challenging sport, sir.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. All right, so yeah, the Kings did run into McDavid, who's fucking good. So yeah, they got bounced. I talk a little hockey this year. The Avalanche won the cup, and this is probably the last time we'll talk about hockey for about a calendar year, if I had to guess.
12 months from now, tune back
Give
in.
or take, 10 or 11 months, depends. See what happens. But yeah, so that's it with them. Now we move on to the NBA draft. The Cavaliers had the 14th overall pick, but before we got to the 14th pick, we had to get through 1 through 13. And of course, a surprising draft, if you ask me.
I did not see the first pick coming.
No. So you had your top 3. You had Paolo Banchero, you had Chet Holmgren, and you had Jabari Smith as your 1, 2, 3. Could have gone in any order. I think most people thought Jabari Smith was going to be the number 1 pick.
Absolutely. I mean,
Like,
that's
for me, that was the
I thought
the
there was like
no-brainer.
inside leaks that he was going to Orlando no matter what. Like that's the pick.
Yeah.
Top 3 are selected. It's going boom, 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 and then we'll worry
Absolutely.
about the 4th pick.
Absolutely.
And then they threw the curveball.
And then, yeah, of course, the number 1 pick, Orlando, takes Paolo Banchero. And then all of a sudden, the second pick, I'm going, oh, shit, the Thunder are going to get away with Jabari Smith here. And they take Chet Holmgren. And I'm like, what happened to Jabari Smith that nobody wants?
To be
him?
honest, I love that Chet pick.
It's good.
Chet's going to be a hell of a basketball player, man.
I just like the Oklahoma City Thunder. I like what they do.
They did well
draft
this year. They did well this year.
People forget that they've sucked for a while now, but they did put together Durant, Westbrook, Harden straight from the draft.
Yep.
That's just your front office doing their homework, doing their due diligence, and you picked up 3 MVP players.
They had what, 3 or 4 draft picks this year.
This year they ended up, I forgot how many off the top of my head because they made some trades. Like they
Right.
traded
picked up
with
some extra.
They traded with the Knicks to get the 11th pick because the Knicks were trying to dump salary. So it was a huge fucking thing. They made a lot of trades. I have it right here.
But their draft picks they made were solid. I mean, they
great picks. I mean,
if they pan out, it's going to be a pretty good draft for them. And then
they have a nice young team with good talent as is, and now you add some good draft picks and a guy like Chet Holmgren, who I'm very anxious to see how he plays in the league because
might be the best player in the draft, to be honest.
Could be. I mean, he's big.
They had 4. Okay,
they had 4 picks.
Though they traded their lower picks,
and they drafted 2 Jalen Williams. I don't know if you saw that. They're spelled different, but they drafted 2 guys named Jalen Williams. So that'll be interesting to see how they.
Is there one a center, one's a guard?
Yeah, but it'll still be interesting to see how the announcers, if you're doing like a radio
tall
call.
Jalen, short Jalen.
Yeah, that's the only way. How do you describe them if they're on the court at the same time? But
Lynn Williams.
That's honestly it. You're going to have to be like J1, J2 or something like that. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they had a pretty good draft, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the future. I think Oklahoma City is going to be a nice team to watch. Keep an eye on. And then finally, pick number 3, Jabari Smith gets taken by the Houston Rockets. Nice pick. Again, a young team. They're trying to build through the draft, and rightfully so. They did all they could for James Harden. They tried. Nothing happened. Kyle looked hungry. I'm going to just give him
thanks.
Yeah, we got only one this time. I'm getting better.
Oh, it's a brown one. What is a brown one?
It is pure shit.
Oh, that's either cappuccino or liver and onions.
Honestly, not too bad. I eat liver and onions from time to time. It's pretty tasty. Let's see what happened.
Oh, God. Liver and onions.
Okay. I've had that for dinner a couple times. Then you get to pick number 4, and this is where the curveball got thrown in, and that's the Sacramento Kings, who apparently are doing everything in their power to be the most embarrassing franchise in NBA history because they just do not know how to draft. They have consistently fucked up their picks. And then same thing here. You've got a guy like Jaden Ivey out of Purdue, damn good player. Could have easily been the 4th pick here. Would have fit in perfectly with them. What do? They draft Keegan Murray. Kyle's a little busy right now.
You mentioned Ivy. I want to talk about Ivy because I love the fact that Detroit got him.
Yeah.
Because Detroit's going to be a scary team in a couple of years. Their backcourt is amazing.
Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. They had the number 1 pick last year and took Cunningham.
God damn it.
Who was a candidate for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
He had a slow start, so rightfully so didn't get it.
Right.
It was robbed from Evan Mobley. I'm never going to die off that one. But, the Pistons take Jaden Ivey at 5, but the Kings taking Keegan Murray. It was a head scratcher for a lot of people. A lot of people thought it was a bad pick.
Right.
It's the Kings doing the Kings things. Like they drafted Tyrese Halliburton a few years ago. They traded him away for Sabonis last season. Now they draft Keegan Murray when they had a guy like Jaden Ivey sitting there. So many options. They fucked it up again, I think. I just don't think it's a good pick, Keegan Murray.
You know what's funny to me is that Detroit probably assumed that Sacramento was going to fuck it up.
Yeah, I mean they knew
everyone behind the Kings was like, yeah, there's no way they're going to
take what I heard a lot of was that the Pistons had a lot of teams on the phone to make a trade.
Right.
So I think they expected the Kings to take Jaden Ivey, and then when Jaden Ivey's off the board, the Pistons were going to trade.
Right.
They did not expect Jaden Ivey to be there at 5.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, he falls. The Pistons drafted him, and I remember I watched the whole draft. Next thing I know, every 2 seconds I'm getting a tweet from some expert and analyst, whatever, and they're saying the Pistons are taking calls on Jaden Ivey. They're looking to trade. They're looking to move him, this and that. My friends are Knicks fans. They're going, I'm hearing we're getting Jaden Ivey, we're getting this guy, we're getting that guy, and then all of a sudden one final tweet comes down and says, Detroit's keeping Ivey.
Well, because I'm pretty positive Detroit was a team that was in the mix to get Sexton or want to get Sexton.
Yes.
They wanted another backcourt player.
Yeah.
So with him not going and Detroit taking Ivey,
there went Colin Sexton to the Pistons.
I think that's what made the Cavs go, all right, the market for Sexton got a lot smaller.
Yep.
We're going to put that qualifying, and not to jump the gun here, but they're going to put the offer out to him, and that's whatever. But the market for Sexton got smaller after this draft.
It did. And like I said, or like Kyle said, we are going to talk about Colin Sexton. Sorry. Colin Sexton was given an extended qualifying offer, not an extension yet, but a qualifying offer from the Cavaliers, which means any team can make him a deal. The Cavs have the rights to match it.
Right.
So happens in the NBA a lot. I think it happened with Anderson Varejao with us a few years ago. We should have let him leave. I think it was. Back then, they were still the Bobcats. I think the Charlotte Bobcats gave Anderson Varejao a pretty good deal, and the Cavs matched it. And I was pissed because I wanted Anderson Varejao out of here, but whatever. You win some, you lose some.
Back in our day, I remember that.
Oh, dude, I do. Peja Stojakovic, Vlade Divac, Mike Bibby, Doug Christie.
Mike Bibby and Doug Christie were
those
the go-to
teams were
back
so
in the
good. Who was the other one?
Bobby Jackson.
Bobby Jackson, that's
Chris Webber, too.
Chris Webber, yep.
They had a damn good team. I loved watching them bang with the fucking the Lakers back in the day in the West. Those West teams were so good. You had the Blazers back when they had Rasheed Wallace and shit. The West was fun to watch back in the day.
They had Turkaloo too.
Yeah, he do Turkoglu.
Turkoglu.
So yeah, the good shit to watch back in the day. But since then, I mean, the Kings have done nothing. I think they're on one of the longest streaks of missing the playoffs. I love when guys. I know it's a popular meme going around, but it says something about how guys can just sit around and mention random players' names, and like we could do it all day. That's a true thing. That's the truest meme that I've ever seen.
That's true. We just did it now with the Kings. We mentioned the early 2000 Kings, and boom, look how many names came out.
I feel bad that Kyle ate that Jelly Belly, and it didn't sit well with him. So, to be fair, to be nice, even though I won,
dude, you're gonna get fucking easy right here.
I'm gonna eat one too. I mean, it could be good, could be bad. I'll let Kyle pick one, but I'd also like Kyle to eat one as well with me to maybe cleanse his palate. Maybe he gets a better one.
There we go. So we got two. So the options are.
Let me get the orange one because that could be peach, but it could be barf.
So the white one is dirty dishwasher birthday cake.
Okay.
And the peach one is peach or barf.
Yep. Let me go with the peach, please.
All right.
Let's hope for the best. I'm not going to smell it down the hatch.
Like most things, don't smell. Just put it in your mouth.
I got barf.
Oh, I got birthday cake.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
Yes.
That is so fucking bad.
Way to suffer with me, buddy.
It tastes like 3-day-old mac and cheese that's been sitting in a hot car. That's the best I can describe it.
3-day-old mac and cheese sitting in the car?
Yep.
Yep. You've had worse things in your mouth, though. It's okay.
Yeah, no, not that bad. Notice I didn't even, a little gross, but whatever. So yeah, the Kings fucked the draft up. Next thing you know, Ivy slides to 5. 4th and 15 is the best show. Hey, what's up, Mel? Hey,
I like how Mel has to come in under his other
every
network.
show on Redline Radio is the best show. Let's just call it that, all right?
That's true.
That's how I look at it. We're all a team. I honestly, when we win, I shout out everybody in the group text or the group message. That's the first thing I do is tell everybody congratulations on a great month. I know I post something about me personally, but I'll do that because it's fun, but I bust balls. Honestly, I love seeing everyone at Redline Radio thrive. It's fun. I love it. So we'll fast forward a few picks here. We're not going to go over the whole draft because who gives a fuck. The Cavaliers drafted Ochai Ajabi. Say that 5 times fast.
Ochai Ajabi.
Yeah, interesting name. You get used to it after a while. And he's a 6'8", 3. He's a 3-and-D, as they call it. That's the new slang in the NBA. He can shoot a 3, and he plays defense. 3-and-D. That's the new thing.
3D.
So the Cavs took him. He is a 4-year senior. He just won the championship with Kansas. If you look at his stats, he progressively got better every year, especially with the three-point shooting, and that's exactly what the Cavaliers needed.
I love this pick.
I like it a lot. I mean, he's a little older. I didn't think he fit our team analytically. I think he's 22 right now, which I know that sounds crazy to say 22 is a little old. But on our team,
I feel old then. I mean,
Evan Mobley was our number 1 pick last year. Should have been Rookie of the Year, and I think he just turned 20, I think. So you have a guy who's 2 years younger who's already got a year in the NBA under his belt.
But here's the thing, though, is this guy's not going to be a starter right off the bat. He's going to be
He's the wing off the bench we need that we wanted Cedi Osman to be.
And that's what I love about this pick, and I think I texted you about this, is like, I love the Cavs draft this year because it tells me they trust the team they have, and they drafted behind the starters to support the pieces that they were missing. Because now they believe that their starters can do what they have to do, and they can bring people off the bench to continue the success the starters were having. I love that. Normally, every other year, we're drafting for starters.
And what I like about this, too, is assuming he comes back full health, which I think he will because it's been about a calendar year since his injury when the season will kick off. Imagine off your bench, you're going to be bringing out Ajabi and Colin Sexton, and depending on how they cycle the rotation, you're going to have Karis LeVert, Lauri Markkanen, guys like that coming off the bench because your starting 5 is probably going to be Garland. More than likely, I would think LeVert's going to get the start at the 2. I would think LeVert. So you go LeVert at 2. 3 is kind of up in the air. Could be Ajabi, could be Markkanen. Maybe they want Markkanen's size off the bench.
Right.
So it could be Ajabi, could be Markkanen, or it could be Isaac Okoro, which I'm not really a huge fan of. I got in a little Twitter debate with somebody the other day because I said Isaac Okoro might be considered a bust of a pick.
Right.
Not a bust, but just he was a top 5 pick, and he doesn't play like a top 5 pick. That's kind of just what I said. And a guy came at me and was like, "Why do you say that?" I'm like, because I'm a fucking Cavs fan. I watch the game.
You have like guys who come at you.
He doesn't. I like them better than the guys that try to come on me. And so you have Isaac Okoro, who's a top 5 pick, who was drafted for his defense, who was supposed to get better offensively, and he's turned into a complete liability on offense. And that's my issue with him as a player. You have a guy who we joked about it on the show before. He scored 0 points in a game before.
Right.
Steph Curry not hitting a 3, he still scored points. Isaac Okoro played as a starter in the NBA 0 points. In a league where they play no defense, it's probably harder to not score than it is to score in an NBA game. And he found a way. So got into a little, not even an argument. It was just a guy that I checked his Twitter profile, his account. He just finds people that say Isaac Okoro, and he finds their tweet and starts confronting them, basically.
Biggest fan, huh?
It might be Isaac Okoro's burner account. He could be pulling a Kevin Durant. I would not be surprised.
I like it.
And I hope it was, because I got to interact with him and tell him why I think he sucks. And then he liked my tweet. So hopefully it was Okoro. And he's like, hey, this guy's got a point. Because I wasn't a dick or anything. I was just like, I said he was a top 5 pick. His defense is good, but it's not good enough to make up for his offensive liability that he is. And the guy liked the tweet and was like, okay, you made a good point. I think
this
that's
tweet
fair.
Brought to you by Talking About Balls.
That's fair.
Kyle Shanahan last year, they listened to our show.
They do. And I mean, that was my problem. Obviously, it's apples and oranges, but that was my issue with Baker Mayfield and the fans that loved him. You have a guy who was a number 1 overall pick, not playing like a number 1 overall pick at all. And fans are still talking about how great he is. It's like, this guy went number 1. Baker's numbers were good if he was a second day pick. Then you go, that's actually really good value out of this guy. Instead, you have the number 1 overall, needs to be the best of the best, and he's in the middle, maybe a little less than the middle, and fans are like, fucking amazing. He's the best player I've ever seen. That boggled my mind. But so the Cavs take a flyer on Ochai Ajabi at 14. Again, 4-year starter, got better, national champion. He was their key piece to winning the national championship this year at Kansas. So you have that championship pedigree, I guess, that's good to bring to the Cavaliers. He can teach the young players how to win, which is weird that he's going to be a rookie and possibly a mentor to some of them because he's an elder. But that's just how it goes in the NBA.
Well, we still have one of the youngest teams in NBA, though.
Absolutely, they do. And at 14, you take a flyer. You hope for the best. I think there were fans out there that were expecting us to take, like, I don't even know who they thought we would take.
People were really high in the Ohio State guy. I don't know where he went.
Yeah, Malachi Branham. He went to the Spurs at like 20 or 21. I got it right here. Yeah, 20. He went to the Spurs. Malachi Branham.
Obviously the Ohio State closeness. They really wanted the guy.
Played 1 year. Good shooter. Needs a lot of development. That's good for a team like the Spurs.
Yeah, but this guy's proven. He's played multiple years. He's done it all over the 4 seasons he was in Kansas.
Yep.
I mean, why not take a chance on someone like that who can come in, you can mold to the person you want him to be on your team, the role he needs to play, and he can start giving this next season.
And the way Kobe Altman and all the executives with the Cavaliers were celebrating the pick, I get it. They're going to do that regardless.
Right.
Whether this was really the guy they wanted, or maybe let's just say, like, who went before him. Maybe they wanted the first Jalen Williams from the Thunder.
Sure.
And he was gone. So they go, fuck, we'll have to take our next guy, Ochai Ajabi. They take him. They're going to celebrate like they had the number 1 overall pick, and they're happy as hell, which is good because they do development and scouting all year. So I know they know what they're doing. They didn't just, it's not like fantasy football where you have 2 guys in mind and they both get taken and you're like, fuck, now what do I do? And you have to check the board.
Where you take the whole 2 minutes to pick your player.
Yeah, where you're like, fuck, you threw off everything. These guys have a plan. They have it all. I'm sure they've gone through every scenario of who do we take if this guy's there, blah, blah, blah. So they like the pick. I like the pick. I liked Kobe Altman's press conference about him after the draft. Said he fits everything they want. He is a polished player. They consider him a finished product, which obviously you'll get better in the NBA. There's so much more coaching to happen in the NBA, but they think of him as a finished product in terms of, like, they know what kind of player he is. He's not a rookie that you need to help develop a jump shot from scratch. He's a guy that they're ready to go, and I'm excited to see what happens with him. And again, at 14 overall, you're not taking the guy to be an immediate contributor. You're not expecting him to come in and turn your franchise around.
No, by midway through the season, you expect him to be contributing pretty well. But that's what you want out of that pick, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
He is a key piece to a team trying to build to become a consistent playoff winner, and I think this is a perfect fit. I like it a lot.
I'm happy with the pick.
As we mentioned earlier, though, Colin Sexton did get the qualifying offer extended to him, and that's big news. I mean, I think the Cavaliers, there's been a lot of discussion, especially on this show. We talk to people all the time about what's going to happen with Colin Sexton, what's his future, and looks like he's going to be a Cavalier for the time being unless they're going to try to trade him.
What was it, $7.2 million qualifying offer, which is fair, I think.
Yeah, something like that. But basically, any team can offer him to a contract, and the Cavaliers have the option to steal him away.
Right, it was just to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, they put out an initial offer, basically to show kind of where they're at financially, and if a team is willing to I won't even say overpay, because guys get paid in the NBA. I don't understand how some of them do.
And the Cavs aren't showing all their hand either. I mean, obviously they'd be willing to pay more if they feel he's worth it. But
absolutely,
it's at least to get the ball rolling to say that we want to keep you and we're invested in keeping you on this team, and we'll see what happens with the rest of the league.
But you have a top 10 pick who is fine. I mean, I don't think Colin Sexton's going to an All-Star game anytime soon. He's an okay player. He's fine.
Well, he went to the All-Star game last year. He just hung out with the team.
Yeah,
on the sidelines.
he went there to hang. He got a ticket, and he sat in the second
He
row.
was there.
He was
He
there.
supported his other teammates.
But yeah, so Colin Sexton's a good player. He's a fine player, top 10 pick. But the Cavaliers showed that with him out, they could still win.
Yeah.
So not a knock on Colin. Don't get me wrong. I do think him on the team is better than, Lamar Stevenson coming off the bench. I'd rather have Colin Sexton personally. So you have that. But I think the Cavaliers are being smart. They're not offering him anything crazy. They're not giving him a max contract or anything close. They're not giving him a long-term contract because you have a guy who's been a little inconsistent coming off a major injury. So it's smart. They're playing it cool. They're playing it light. They're going to see what happens. Go with him in the future.
I'm good with this.
The Taze is coming, Mike. Be patient. Be patient.
People, you got to hang out and hang with us. Enjoy the show before I start slobbering over everybody.
Go up to Swings and Things, get some practice swings in, and then when you come back, it'll be Taze time. How's that sound? Now, we will get to the tasing in a little bit.
It's
Don't worry.
coming
I got
shortly,
it.
actually.
I have the whole episode planned out, everybody. Don't you worry at home, everybody. I gotcha. A little more basketball talk. The Cavaliers also did have they had 4 draft picks. I'm kind of shocked they used all 4. I did not expect that.
Khalifa Diop, their second pick.
Khalifa Diop.
Got it.
Remember Sagana Diop?
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce
his
it.
brother?
They're not related. No,
Okay.
they're not. That was verified.
That's a weird
So you
one.
have Khalifa Diop, who is a 7'1" center out of Senegal, which is, I think, in like Africa or
I
something.
thought we were just drafting family members in his draft.
Family members and alumni. Family members, apparently. But no, they're not related. I heard that on the radio the other day because that's the first thing I thought was, holy shit. And then they also took, what else did they take? I got it written down here. Isaiah Mobley.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley's brother, who is, he's 6'10", went to USC, played for a couple of years, played with his
little
brother.
rusty, not sharp around the edges. I guess he needs some fine tuning, but he can still be a good piece for us.
A second-round pick. You get what you get out of a guy like that. You hope to develop him. You're going to give him a 2-way contract. And then also they took Luke Travers, who is a 6'8" swing player kind of out of Australia. They've already said that the foreign players in Jop and Travers are going to stay overseas. They're going to be part of our international club. And then I expect Isaiah Mobley to get a 2-way contract, and he'll bounce around from the G League and the Cavaliers, probably spending most of his season in the G League, but gets to be with his brother. They'll practice together every once in a while. I don't exactly know how the G League and NBA practices work, if they're separate or whatever, but it's just cool that the family's together. I think it's going to make Evan Mobley really happy. So smart move by the Cavaliers, a second-round pick.
Make your star player happy.
Keep your face of the franchise happy. It's
Absolutely.
a smart move. I love it. So good job out of them. Good job out of Kobe Altman. Got some size. You got some guys to project and to work on, and hopefully one day they either contribute or they're good enough to where you can trade them for something, and that's the plan. That's the way to do it. Tomorrow is NBA free agency. I don't have any pictures for this. This was something I threw together at the last second because free agency is getting ready to start.
It's already started, it felt like.
And, yeah, there are teams that are already making some deals. The first one, obviously, is John Wall. I'm sure you saw that.
Yeah.
So John Wall gets bought out by the Houston Rockets,
Going to
gets
the
a
Clippers.
shitload of money,
Yeah.
and immediately is agreed to go to the Clippers. So he's gone. He hasn't played in like a year and a half or something like that. I think he played 40 games at most for the Rockets over the last like 3 years or something like that. Not a lot. John Wall hasn't done much, and going right to the Clippers, trying to win.
Are you surprised, not the subject, but to move to a different team, that Westbrook picked up his option?
No, because
Who would not pick up a $45 million option?
if you're a good enough player to where you could go wherever the fuck you want and get $45 million, and you think there's a better situation on a better team, because I mean, right now the way the Lakers are constructed, they're not a good team. So for a guy like Westbrook, he could go, "You got a shit one?"
A back-to-back liver and
That was a
onion
liver
joint.
onion.
What
Nice.
the
Happy
fuck?
for you. At least you're getting immune to the taste, or used to it at least.
Dude, I hate liver and onions.
But you have a guy like Westbrook who's on a really bad Laker team. Obviously, if you have Anthony Davis healthy, a healthy Anthony Davis is going to make things a lot better for the Lakers.
Just got to swallow it whole. That's what she said.
Oh, I like punishment camp.
Oh, that's a good.
I like that a lot.
Look at, is that a new creation out of our producer there, Tim?
I love that.
Nice.
On the fly. I like it. We got Kyle eating a liver and onion jelly
God.
belly, not liking it at all. Although it kind of looks like you're enjoying it. You see it like swishing around in your mouth. You're
Oh no,
getting
I
every
just swallowed
flavor,
it whole. You know, just
every ounce of flavor.
got to just take it back like a champ.
But yeah, so Westbrook picks up his option. I think, the one thing that was funny was Kyrie Irving, because that was something that a lot of people thought, is he going to pick up his option?
Right.
A lot of people thought he's going to opt out of the Nets,
I think he waited
and
to
he's going
see-
elsewhere.
I think he waited to see what could happen before
Yeah.
picking up his option because they think we were talking about trading him, maybe a sign and trade or whatever. But
Yeah, the problem with the sign and trade though, I forgot the exact details, but it's like if you do a sign and trade, it makes your salary cap a hard cap,
right.
and it like really fucks with teams. So then you have no money to go elsewhere. Like you can't go over and do things. So sign and trades aren't really like a sought after thing, especially if you're doing it with a guy like Kyrie who's going to have a damn near max contract.
Right,
So,
when I saw the rumor of like, oh, Kyrie's looking to go back and play with LeBron and the Lakers, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, there were definitely some rumblings, but the one thing I saw was basically that the Lakers had nothing to offer the Nets. Like there was no package they could put together to get Kyrie Irving. So it's
Right.
kind of a moot point. Like it was never going to happen. And I also saw basically that because he's burned so many bridges, bit of a head case, bit of a troublemaker.
the only team that wanted him might be
The rumor
Lakers.
was the only team that really had interest in trading for Kyrie
Because of
Irving was the
LeBron.
Lakers.
Because
and that
of
was
LeBron.
it. Because
Yeah.
LeBron runs the show. So that's
well,
all I saw.
therapist
And then-
LeBron, he could have handled Kyrie.
The cool thing, though, there was some good drama, and it was if Kyrie opts out and goes elsewhere, where does Kevin Durant go? Because Kevin Durant's going to demand
And
a
there was
trade.
rumors I saw about Durant wanting to go somewhere else.
Yeah. So the rumor was if Kyrie left, Durant was out. And next thing you know, they kept it together. And, oh, nice job, Tim. I like that. And they're staying together. They're going to play in Brooklyn, and more power to him. I think that
On
team
the
kind of
fly,
sucks.
Tim. Way to go, man.
He's killing it today. I like it. Usually, sometimes he gets a cat nap in during the show. Today, he's killing it. I love it. He's ready to see Kyle get tased. I think it's rejuvenated.
I got my catnap earlier.
No, you
By
did
the
all
way,
right.
you,
I-
by the
I-
way,
I-
you fall asleep. I've got something.
Yeah, I know you
for
like
over
to
here.
catch a couple Z's every now and then. But
You're not supposed to know that. You ain't supposed to tell him that.
no, I like it. I like the fans to know what's going on behind
Our
the
show's
scenes.
so good, Tim. You can take a cruise control moment.
Yeah, but
It's okay.
As Kyle said, we brought in Tim's alarm clock in case he falls asleep today. But yeah, so the Irving and Durant project is going to remain in Brooklyn. We'll see what happens
They
with them.
still won't make it.
I mean, they're going to have Ben Simmons next year. Hopefully, he plays for the first time. That'll be kind of exciting to see them in action together. I saw James Harden is opting out in
Yeah,
Philly,
yeah.
but
They could
he's
he
staying.
still resign. Yeah.
He said he's going to stay. He wants a cheaper contract to help
Yeah.
them get better, which is you don't hear that. I love players that do that. I'm not a James Harden fan
It's Tom
personally.
Brady treatment right there.
It is. I hate watching James Harden play. I hate watching him get shitty foul calls. I hate watching him lean
James
into
Harden
people.
hates James Harden playing. by
I
the way.
hate
It's
watching
okay.
the flopping. I really hate it all. So when I saw that he's opting out to give the Sixers more money to build a team, I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. Like I respect the fuck out of that. Because to me, winning is everything. That's all I care about personally.
They can bring in another mediocre player and they won't go far. It's fine.
Exactly, yeah. If he stays for a huge contract, James Harden realizes he's not worth it. He'd be holding the Sixers back. Everyone on the team would probably hate him because he'd be preventing them from winning a championship. He'd be wasting Joel Embiid's talent. And he sees that, and he said, fuck it, I'm going to take a pay cut. I love that. More power to him for doing that. That's huge. DeJounte Murray was traded from the Spurs to the Hawks today for Danilo Gallinari and I think 3 first-round picks. And that's a hell of a haul.
Yeah, that's hefty.
That's
Spurs
a lot.
are, and it's interesting. Spurs have made some good draft picks, and now they're doing this. It's interesting.
My issue, I have to do a little more research because I really don't know much about it. Why they wanted to get rid of him so badly? Like the Spurs were in the play-in tournament. They were close to making the playoffs. They have a young team. They just had a draft. They can keep going, and they fucking trade away their best player.
I thought the Cavs. I for sure thought the Cavs were trying to get into that trade. For a while there, I heard
just
that
don't
name
think we
drop.
can afford it.
No, I don't think we could afford it either. But I
Yeah.
heard the Cavs and him in like talks.
I mean,
you know
they
what
might have called and just said like, "Hey, what's it going to take?" And
Right.
then we realized we don't
couldn't
have
afford
the
it.
offer. That's a shame in the
Maybe
NBA.
maybe Pop is like, look, I don't need him.
Yeah,
Give
I
me
mean,
some young talent. I can coach young.
he
talent.
hasn't
We can
won
still
much
win.
since obviously Tony Parker and Ginobili and all them left, but the Popovich is like one of those guys who's such a good veteran. He's a Hall of Fame coach. You don't really question his moves. That's kind of where I'm at with him. I'm like you.
That's probably what he said. He's like, just get rid of this guy. Give me a haul back.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'll
like
do what
it's
I
like
can
Bill
with it.
Belichick. Like I don't question if Bill Belichick trades a guy. It's like there must be something fucked up with this guy, which
Right.
makes me worried that we got the raw deal in Chase Winovich coming to Cleveland because every time Bill makes a trade, he's usually
It's
right. He wins the
because,
trade.
yeah.
And to Dave's point with looking at Ricky Rubio or Joe Ingles, the one thing I heard from Brian Windhorst yesterday about Ricky Rubio was the Cavs would like Rubio, but they need a guy that's going to be able to play in November. Ricky Rubio is not going to be that guy. Ricky Rubio is going to be missing most of this season till he gets healthy because it's his second or third torn ACL. So the Cavs are kind of looking for a healthy body. They need somebody that can play immediately, and Rubio's not that guy. So maybe down the line they get Rubio as a veteran piece for a playoff run, but I don't think they're gonna make a move for him anytime soon. And if they do, I mean, just know as a Cavs fan, he's not playing for most of the year.
I
at
mean,
least
bring
half.
Rubio in as a coach because I loved him on the team.
That's
Great
what I love.
motivational speaker.
He was the
Gets him
heart and
going.
soul of this team. So if they bring him in, I'm all for it, even if they know he can't play. It's just I'm not exactly positive how it works roster spot wise. I'm not wasting a roster spot for a guy who we know isn't playing.
Right.
But maybe Kobe Altman can work some shit around and get it right. But yeah, the East definitely got tougher with Murray going to the Hawks. The Hawks were a good team. They have Trae Young. They obviously beat the Cavs in the play-in game, or the second play-in game, yeah. And they got into the playoffs and they got embarrassed. But the East is definitely getting tougher. So that's that. What else did I have for the NBA? Anybody else? Nope. John Wall. PJ Tucker. He's bouncing around from team to team like he does. He likes to go to the next championship contender. He was with Milwaukee, won a championship. He was just with Miami, and they were a game away from going to the finals. And then now the rumor is he opted to not opt into his contract, and he is a free agent. And the rumor is Philly is on his list of teams he's going to. So that helps. James Harden leaves. They can sign a guy like PJ Tucker, and that'd be
a good signing for them.
Huge bench player. He's a great defender, good corner three shooter. He's a dick. He's the kind of guy that's going to go out there and ruffle all the feathers on the other team. Yep. Everyone's going to be pissed off. He's going to cause people to have technical fouls, which is huge. That's good. That's what he does.
They still won't be good enough.
No, I hate the Sixers. Fucking.
I mean, they might. It depends on what else they can get, because, I mean, Joel Embiid is fucking good. But we'll see what happens. No, Rondo was not good here. That trade failed miserably when we got Rondo. I was excited at first because I was hoping we were going to get the 2020 Lakers championship version of Rondo, who every time I turned around, it looked like he was stealing the ball from Tyler Hero or whoever on the Heat, because his defense was so fucking good in the finals in the 2020 playoffs when the Lakers won the championship. But when he came to Cleveland, nothing. And we got nothing out of Rondo. He couldn't stay healthy. He's a shell of himself. Thanks for coming, but get the fuck out. That's kind of my philosophy on that for him. Next up, a little baseball talk for all you baseball fans at home.
Baseball.
The Cleveland Guardians. I haven't checked the score here in a little
God,
bit.
look at that logo. Such a great logo.
Looks like Paulie from Paulie Walnuts from Sopranos. Let me check the score here.
You're right.
Oh, you never saw that one before?
No, I mean I know who Paulie Walnuts
No,
is.
I mean,
I didn't put two to two
when
together.
it first started, people were calling it the Paulie Walnuts.
That's
logo.
amazing.
Yeah. So let me check scores here. So we have the Guardians are.
Oh, they're winning. I thought.
Nope.
They were winning.
It went to extras, and
They lost.
the Twins are up 6-3 in the bottom of the 10th.
Oh, good deal.
0 outs. So the Guardians are now 3 outs away from another.
When I left watching the game, they were up
loss.
3-0. So that's good.
Karis LeVert wasn't great, but he was hurt for some of the season before we got him, came here. I mean, halfway through the season, you're trying to mesh with a team. When you're not a superstar type of player, it's hard.
Yeah.
So they traded for Karis LeVert, and they were like, hey,
Roll the dice.
jump in and catch up with everybody else, and it didn't work. So I'm hoping that a full off season and a full, practice with the team in the off season and coaching staff, etc., gets him more familiar with the playbook, gets him more familiar with his teammates, and Karis LeVert will have a much better season coming up is the hope for everybody, obviously, because we still have him under contract. He's not going anywhere. So he'll be here again. But the Guardians are about to lose another game to the Twins, losing more ground in the Central after they just had a triumphant road series against multiple teams, won a lot of games.
We were talking deep playoff runs after they beat those teams on the road. And we're like,
wasn't.
oh, God. And then all of a sudden, Boston comes to town and smacks the shit out of them.
All because Kyle said something about a deep playoff run for the Guardians. He's getting a jelly belly because I don't like that one bit. We don't talk nicely about the Guardians on
Oh,
this
this is
show.
birthday cake again? Or
Is it? No, I think that one's the Tutti Frutti.
Oh, it's birthday cake or...
It looks like it's pinkish, though. It looks like the Tutti Frutti, I thought.
Is it? Maybe it is.
I think it is. Well, we're going to find out here in a second, ladies and gentlemen, if it's Tutti
this could be
Frutti
dead fish.
or dead. Is it dead fish? Please be dead fish.
Oh, no. Strawberry banana smoothie. We're good.
Okay, so what was the option for that one? It's
Dirty
strawberry
fish.
banana, and then it is dead fish. Okay. All right, you got lucky. All right, but yeah, the Guardians are on a losing streak a little bit. They're not playing well. They got swept by Boston over the weekend. They're playing the Twins. I mean, fuck, they're playing 5 games in 3 days or something like that. It is, and yeah, they're just not a very good team. The Guardians. They got lucky. They were hot. Teams do that in baseball. I just don't think the Guardians can consistently do something to make a
Jose's
playoff
kind of
run.
done this a little bit lately, too.
Which, I mean, I feel bad for him. The dude's doing it all. That was my big issue when they signed him to that extension was he put a no trade clause in it. They better put some shit around him. We do have a new owner, partial owner.
Yeah, minority owner.
Yeah, what's his name?
With some money.
Dave Blitzer, I think it is.
I think he's a Leaf Guard owner, right? He's local. He
Yeah.
actually owns
He was supposed to be, from what I
Some
read.
NASCAR teams, by the way. Dave and Lee, if you're watching, you probably should know this.
Yeah, you guys could make some decals for him or something.
Yeah.
I don't know who he races with or anything. I don't
Cars
know
that
anything
go
about it.
zoom in a circle.
No idea. I always find that funny that cars that go hundreds of miles an hour in a circle, they have sponsors on their car. So if you're in the crowd, you can't even see what it says on the car.
Yeah. Here comes that Glidden paint spot.
So you're like,
There it
hey,
goes, yeah.
I think that was him. Wasn't that him?
That was our sign.
Yeah, I think that was us right there, wasn't it? That little sticker under
I didn't
above his
catch the
tire.
blur. Can we slow it down a little bit, please?
I just think of Ricky Bobby when he put the sticker right on the windshield. I love that. That's so funny to me. Yeah, the Guardians are young.
You ain't first, you last.
Damn right. Shake and bake. But the Guardians are struggling. They're losing to the Twins again, as we just said, 6-3, one out in the bottom of the 10th, and losing more ground for first place as they took it. They've quickly squandered it away.
We both said this is a very easy division, so if they won a
is.
division, nobody would be surprised.
When the Guardians were about to
But-
take first place, Kyle texted me and he's like, "How about the Guardians?" Something like that. And I
Tied
was
for
like,
first when I texted you.
and
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, but we're in the Central, so."
tampered the expectations.
Take it for what it's worth, and then lo and behold, we face a team from the East in Boston, and they
And
swept us, and
we
it
got
was embarrassing. And then now against the Twins, so
Who we
far
just
this
swept
is
not even a
we
couple
just
weeks ago.
swept them last week,
Yeah.
and then now we're facing them with the doubleheaders and
And we're
shit.
swept.
We've
We're
played.
getting
This is
swept.
the fourth game, I think, and we are 1-3.
Yep.
If assuming we lose this game, we'll be 1-3 in our last 4 against the Twins,
Way to go, boys.
which is not good in a pennant race. But we're halfway there. We have a new owner. Maybe he's going to put a little money into the team at the trade
Can he
deadline.
do that
Maybe he's
now, or
gonna-
do you have to wait till next year?
I think he's officially a part of it. I think
Think he
honestly
can do
it's-
it now? Okay.
I think so. I really don't know. Ricky Bobby,
It's dangerous, but I do love some Big Newtons. They're good.
if you don't like Big Red, then fuck you. I love that part. That's so funny to me.
Such a great movie.
Really quick.
You're
I
my
wanna-
best friend.
when he's marrying his wife, he wants him to come to the wedding. We're gonna have to do a talking about balls watches Talladega Nights
Absolutely.
episode special. I think that'd be fun. We'll find something.
Do like
we'll
a
figure it out. We'll have-
mystery theater, whatever 3000.
Yeah,
like
we'll find a
voiceovers.
bar that'll let us play it. We'll invite everybody to come watch it. We'll drink and watch Ricky Bobby. I think that sounds like a fucking cool idea. Dave, get on that. I'm giving you one job. I need you to set me up with a bar that's going to let us sit there, watch a movie, maybe do a live broadcast.
and talk over it.
Let's do it. Let's work on that. I'm talking to Dave. Dave, hopefully, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but it's looking like we're going to have to record next week instead of taking the 2 weeks off. It'll screw our schedule up a little bit, but we're going to record next week, the 13th. So, with that, or the 6th, I'm sorry. With that being said, we'll be recording on the 6th, hopefully,
We'll see.
with both Steel City Renegades. Well, is it 3? Is Chipper officially a Steel City Renegade?
I don't know if he's signed a contract yet.
Okay, so he's a free agent, so we're not counting him. We're going to, if he's part of it, whatever, 2/3 of the Steel City Renegade in Dave and Lee should be on the show. We hope. Dave's working on a schedule right now. Lee will be here for sure. So we'll at least have one member. We want to have them on before they make their debut for the season
Yep.
on July 17th. They'll be going live for the first time this
They got to
year.
shake off the rust.
Yeah, they got big.
It's been so long.
They got big shoes to fill. Coming in, you're joining the #1 show at
we're
Redline.
gonna have a handbook so you guys know what to do and not to do.
Yeah, we'll
Coming
help
back.
you. You just let us know. We'll help you along the way. We're more than happy to do it.
Bring your own water.
Bring
Yes.
fuck off. Bring your own water.
I do every week. You guys see me with a bottle of water. That's from home.
And you know what? We'll probably have these next week too. We're gonna leave these here. It's gonna be the show favorite right here. You give a bad take, you take a jelly bean.
I really want to be confident in the Browns and make bets against them with the Steelers-Browns matchups.
We should do
We'll
that.
wait till it gets to the season.
I
we
feel
learn
like
about
they don't want to
Watson's
make bets
suspension.
against our show because they see the punishments.
Yeah,
they don't
no,
want they don't want part of that.
It's not pretty. It's only getting worse now that we have a camera involved. The punishments before were like a quick Facebook Live, like Kyle eating hot sauce in my basement because it's just a
That
quick thing
still
to film.
sucked.
Yeah, that was a good one. I still have that hot sauce in my basement. It's called like Devil Dick or something like that.
Devil's tongue.
I was
Don't
gonna
tell
say
him
bring
whatever,
it
close
until you
enough.
said devil's dick. I don't
Tons
know.
and dicks. If I'm not, I think the bottle kind of looked like a dick though, if I'm not mistaken. So
I was really shaking it really hard to get in my mouth. So
that'll be something I'd like to see Chipper try if they lose a bet because Chipper he's been filmed doing the wing challenge.
Atomic
before.
Wing Challenge,
You
yeah.
have to wear gloves. He's like turning red, looks like he's fucking dying, and he's eating these wings, and he's like trying to look like, oh, I'm good, and he's crying.
And here's
shit.
the thing, though, it wasn't sauce, it wasn't hot sauce, it was extract. It was thick.
The shit that Kyle did was
It was thick.
It was heat extract. The Scoville units were like 30 million or
It took
something. I
about
don't
an
know.
hour to slide down my throat.
It was nuts.
That's what she said.
Usually it's a
That's
lot quicker
exactly
to
what
go
she
down
said.
Kyle's throat. So yeah, hopefully next week we can have those guys on. We'll do all that. That's going to be fun. But for the time being, speak
Dave's
of
in
the
the house.
devil. He's a week early. His calendar didn't line up, but Dave is here.
I'll be here next week.
You will? All right,
There
perfect.
we
Then
go.
we're going to have,
Officially.
we'll have
Number
Dave and
one-
Lee.
The true number one show will be here.
Yes, the true number one
Officially.
show will be recording next Wednesday, talking about balls with Dave and Lee in the building. But I want to talk a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw it. The fight. Baseball fights are back.
Dude,
and I love it.
That was
I
one of
love
the
it.
best fights I've seen. I love
It was good.
I love good
It was good.
old-fashioned MLB fights.
It was a fun series. You had, this is the best picture ever. You
The
have
walking
Jesse,
off, doing the fucking
Jesse
bird.
Winker, double birds to the fans in Anaheim. You have two shitty teams
To the
in the
12
West.
fans in Anaheim.
Yeah,
I
as you can see, nobody goes to the games. But there was a fight. So I guess there's some bad blood that weekend between the Mariners and the Angels. They're, of course, division rivals. The whole series was a little chippy.
Yeah.
And then in this game, it was the second inning. You had Mike Trout, I think the night before, got thrown at. Didn't like it. He bitched. He complained to his teammates, wanted
Yeah.
some retaliation. So next thing you know, they fucking plunk Jesse Winker. You've got the manager of the Mariners. He's pointing at the ump and he's saying, throw him out. Like, what the fuck? Get him out of here. Next thing you know, Winker's John with the dugout.
Yeah.
Chases after the dugout, and there's everybody clears
That's
it
what I
out. It
loved
was
about this
fucking
fight is the
awesome.
fact that he looked at the pitcher and he said, "No, fuck this. This call came from your dugout.
Yeah.
and your coach made this call."
Yep.
He looked right at the coach and went right after the coach.
And I love that they were trying to hold him back. He pushed the ump out of his way.
Yeah.
He got to the dugout. He was fucking swinging on the entire team. That was my favorite part. It was 1-40 or whatever
And he
for a
went-
second.
And so he was out there for a long time. He walked back, did the double bird.
Yep,
He
love that.
Dropped a couple F-bombs, I heard.
Yep.
Then the umps, this is the best part too. The umps are deciding who's getting kicked out. They're talking. They walk over to the Mariners coach and says, "Here's what we're deciding."
Yep.
And then all of a sudden some D-bag from the Angels dugout comes out and this guy walks right back out again. Like
Love
I thought
it.
he would be escorted out of
Nope.
the fucking
They basically just think that once you go into the tunnel, you're an adult. You're going to go find your way to the dugout
no,
or
this
the
dude
locker
wanted
room.
all
you're
the
done.
smoke. He
He
wanted-
came out and was like, "Fuck it, I'm not done."
He wanted all the smoke. He came back out and started going after whoever it was. But I guess the story behind that is they were teammates in Cincinnati.
Yes.
So that's why we were talking shit to each
So
other.
that was the other guy. That was the annoying thing. Really quick before we talk about that guy freaking out, Tim, do you have that? Don't play it yet. I don't want to spoil it, but do you have that? Like they play it in clubs all the time. The ba 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 ba, the horn. Do you have that at the ready, or is
course
that
he
not
does.
here?
Absolutely.
You
Of course
do?
he does.
So can you give it to me in a second here? I'm going to let everybody know that first time ever, Jesse Winker is the Talking About Balls MVP Penis of the Week.
Yes.
He is my favorite athlete. He is getting the award this
Congratulations.
week. Kudos to Jesse Winker.
Congratulations. That's
First
great.
time we've given this award out. I want this to be a new thing. When a player does something like this that I love, a great story where it's sports related, but it's not like a sports thing. Like I don't want to give a guy an award because he hit a home run or won
No,
a
but
game.
this is awesome as fuck.
He charged an entire fucking team. Wanted to fight.
He wanted it
Flipped
all.
off everyone in the crowd. Double birds.
It's like
I
that
love
dude from
that.
Ohio State when they did Michigan, where he
Michigan
got kicked
game.
out and he dropped the double birds.
He did the double birds, and then the icing on the cake for the story. We'll get to the guy that went his
Yeah.
teammate. I don't know if you saw this one. A woman in Seattle, a Mariners fan, thought, you know what? He got kicked out. It's early in the game. I feel bad for him. I'm going to order him a pizza. So
I didn't see this.
Yeah, so she ordered a pizza from apparently there's a company called like Magic Mountain Pizza in Anaheim. She has no idea. She just Googled like pizza places nearby. She ordered him a large pizza and had it Uber Eat delivered to his house or to the dugout or the clubhouse, and the guy got it to him. Winker like responded and was like, "Thank you for the pizza." He got it. The
No shit.
the people found out the name of the Uber driver or the delivery guy, and they gave him they donated money to a GoFundMe for him. They gave him a huge tip. They all Venmoed him a shitload of money for doing it.
They actually got it to him.
It was a really cool story.
That's
Yeah, he got it to the
awesome.
clubhouse. It was a really funny story. This woman's just a Mariners fan from Seattle, and she saw him get kicked out of the game, and she's like, "I'm going to send him a pizza. He's going to be sitting." Even though I'm guessing a major league club locker room has all the food you can imagine,
Sure.
but she still thought a nice gesture. Send him a pizza.
But a deep dish pepperoni goes a long way
Yeah.
sometimes.
One thing I heard, though, is that the reviews of this pizza place, not the greatest. So she should have picked a better place. But you live and learn. She's not from the area. You can't fault her for picking out bad pizza when she has no idea what's out
You
there.
Google what's close, you pick it, you go with it.
But yeah, to his teammate, the one thing I hate about this is that after all the smoke had cleared, or the dust had settled, as they say,
Sure.
he's in the locker room smashing everything and like fucking up his own dugout to like look like a badass. I hate when players do that kind of shit
What,
over
you
nothing.
said about smacking the baseball bat across the bat holders and everything.
If you do that because you struck out or like you blundered something,
Sure.
totally understandable. I would do the same thing. But to do it because you're trying to look intense and you're trying to like act tough, I just don't find that tough. I find that to be lame. I thought it was a weak thing. That's why Jesse Winker is the Talking About Balls MVP penis of the week. I love it. All right. Now, with that being said, it is time to shock the world
thought we were doing a break first.
We are going to take a quick break.
Yeah.
And when we come back, Kyle will be in position. We're all reliable here.
Let your friends know.
I might pull a Bobby Hill before I do it and say, get off. I don't know you. Get off my purse. If any of you watch King of the Hill, I love that. That's my favorite part of that show.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby Bull. I do that all the time. My wife hates it. I imitate Hank Hill religiously. Before we go to break, though, I will let Kyle cleanse his palate here. And let's see what we get in the mystery bucket. When we come back, we're going to do Kyle's punishment.
wow.
We got a twofer.
Are they both the same? No, they're not the same.
They're not. I was going to say, they're close. Yeah. So we got a twofer. But when we come back, we're going to do the punishment as soon as we get back from break. And then we're going to talk, obviously, about Deshaun Watson and the settlement. We're going to talk about Deshaun Watson and the... I love that it froze on that face for a second on the screen. It looked like you look like you were like taking a shit and like you could smell it and you grossed yourself out with like a fart. That's kind of what I got out of that.
I got stink bug and toasted marshmallow.
Interesting.
It's very offsetting.
You've been mixing the toasted marshmallow with a lot of things today.
You've been pulling them, so I got to take them.
I can't help that they loaded the top with it. What do you want from me? But when we come back, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson and his settlement of the 20 out of the 24 cases.
He might be talking about it, but it's okay.
Yeah. Kyle might be. I don't know. We have an ambulance on standby. That's why Dave came in here to drag Kyle downstairs so I don't have to stop recording. And then we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Deshaun Watson's hearing that's underway right now for the possible suspension with Judge Sue Robinson. And then unfortunately, he's still a Cleveland Brown, so we got to talk about it. Baker Mayfield trade rumors, and then just the tip. And we're going to get out of here. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back, do some ads, and then it's the stunner time.
Yeah.
See you in a minute.
Bye.
Redline Radio LLC is proud to partner with Growing Wings Adult Services for the creation of our brand new state-of-the-art production studio. Growing Wings Adult Services has been assisting adults with disabilities in the Northeast Ohio area for the past 5 years. For more information on how Lisa and the team at Growing Wings can assist your family, you can contact Lisa at 234-334-7547 today. Detroit Auto Parts is the official parts store of Red Line Radio LLC. They have 2 convenient locations on the east side. You can call 216-531-7373, or on the west side, call 216-398-7373. Mention Redline Radio and receive 10% off your purchase. It's the official home and auto parts store of Redline Radio LLC. If you need any custom t-shirts, banners, stickers, anything like that made, then you reach out to Incredible Keepsakes. As Diane always says, cherished moments are made to last forever. You can reach Incredible Keepsakes at 440-242-9648 or check out their websites at incrediblekeepsakes.com. And don't forget to mention that Redline Radio sent you. For all of our programming information, you can check us out on all social media platforms. You can listen to all of our great programming and live 24-hour music on the Redline Radio LLC app. You can find it on the Google Play Store, but you can also check us out at redlineradiolllc.com, where we are always live.
to you, man. Go fucking Tribe, Mike said. Fuck yeah.
Guardians with a walk-off win, but we're not here to talk about that kind of shit right now. Right now, we're here to talk about the reason we're all here, and that's Growing Wings Adult Service Studio. Growing Wings Adult Service, the official sponsor of state-of-the-art Studio Number 2. Growing Wings Adult Services has 5 years of experience of taking care of adults with disabilities. For more information, call Lisa, 234-334-7547. We're located in the beautiful Berea area where apparently Chipper doesn't drive to. So that's where you find us. You will not find Chipper.
That's also true. And because we're here, the reason why we're here, and because their studio looks amazing, is because of Wiggins Construction and Home Improvement. They do bathrooms, they do kitchens, windows, doors, siding, much more. Give them a call today. Ask for Will, 440-731-7654. Tell them that Redline Radio sent you, and they'll take care of you, because trust me, we come to this studio every week or every 2 weeks right now because of how beautiful this studio is set up. The layout, it makes us do our jobs perfectly fine, and they did a great job here. Why do I have naked ladies in front of me?
Never a bad thing. That's why we don't have the cameras on right now. We can't show this. The FCC will shut us down. Let's talk about getting your hair cut. So my wife cuts my hair. She's a hairstylist. She usually cuts women's hair mostly, but she cuts mine.
Explains everything.
Now, the reason Dave showed up to the studio and hasn't gotten behind the camera is because he's not looking great today. He walked in and I said, whoa, what happened to you? And he's going tomorrow to get his hair cut because they fix ugly. And that is, of course, I Fix Ugly, the barbershop on State Road, Cleveland, Ohio. Check them out, 216-400-6969, one of my favorite phone numbers in the world. They are open. They open at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Check them out. They're located at 4497 State Road, Cleveland, Ohio. I Fix Ugly. Let's see if they live up to the name after Dave gets done out of the chair.
Sir, you might get fined from the owner of our radio station here. But you know what else fixes up? You know what else fixes ugly? Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning. They fix ugly trash bins. Trash bins, they take care of it. They come out, they clean your recycling one, your trash one. They clean them out. They look fresh, and you're good to go for a long time. I actually use Fitz Trash Bin because I live in North Ridgeville, and they're heavily sponsored out there. Give them a call today. You want to reach out to Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning at 440-752-1533. Mention Redline Radio for the first service. You will get 10% off, and they will take care of you. Trust me, it's worth it.
Now, if you can get a clear screen grab of Kyle after he gets tased here in a couple of minutes, and you want to put that on a T-shirt, who do you call? Incredible Keepsakes, obviously.
I hope so.
Give them a call, 440-242-9648, or go to their website at www.incrediblekeepsakes.com. As Diane would say, cherish moments that are made to last forever. Lord knows I will in a little bit.
Now I truly hope that somebody fucking screen grabs that face, because... But you know what? After I'm done with this, I'm going to need a drink. And if I was in Vegas, where would I go to get a drink at, Justin? What do you think?
Probably the Rusty Spur Saloon.
Absolutely, it's the Rusty Spur Saloon. I'm going to Vegas in November. I'll be out there for a golf thing for 3 days. I am going to check these guys out because I love dive bars. Me and Justin both love dive bars. I'm going to check them out when we're out there. They voted the biggest hole-in-the-wall saloon for the last 2 years. And what's a better place to get a cheap drink? Well, I'm sorry, Vegas cheap drink than the Rusty Spur Saloon. Check them out if you're ever in Vegas. Tell them Redline sent you. They might know us, they might not know us, but you know what? Doesn't fucking matter. Go buy a beer from them.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Kyle will be in Vegas in November. I will not be. I will be home waiting for my wife to give birth to our child. So while I have a lot of time to kill, I'm going to be checking out Redline Radio and all the shit they have going on. Their schedule, Monday through Sunday, every day of the week. You can't miss it. There's something going on 24/7. On Tuesdays, for instance, our very own Tim Buck Tuesday, 6 to 8.
What?
You cannot miss his show. It's always funny, always great. He's always up to something. You hear him at the end of the show every night. He's always plugging comedy shows. He's hosting this. He's hosting that. The guy, I don't know where he sleeps. Oh, wait, that's when he's doing our show sometimes. But that's okay. I'm just busting his balls. I know Tim loves it. But on Wednesday, of course, you have Sugar and Spice leading us in. Sometimes you have Continuing to Serve there every other week. If you're ever missing talking about balls and you want to check out a Wednesday night, you have Continuing to Serve always there for you. You got the Lex Vegas show, Thursdays, 7 to 8. Redline Radio's cream of the crop, one of the best shows going. Always the face of the company. Lex Vegas is just who you think of when you think of Redline if you're listening to the shows.
He's the staple of the community.
Now, another show that you think of when you think of Redline Radio is, of course, Steel City Renegades. They're getting ready to start their season off on the 17th of July. We'll have them on next week, Dave and Lee, and Chipper via Zoom if he can get his internet, because right now money's tight. He can't get gas. He can't get the internet. So we'll
I heard AOL dial-up helps.
He's putting too much money into bowling leagues and shit these days. So we'll see what happens with Chipper. We'll see what happens. But we got all that going on and much more on Redline Radio. Check it out. You guys know where to find everything if you ever want to check it out. And do it.
Well, so here we go. I got naked ladies in front of me. Sorry, Jess. Love you. But comedy and lingerie, what a better combo than that? I mean, I love making jokes while I'm wearing lingerie all the time. But hey, check it out. August 17th, Wednesday. Where's this at? The Exotic Lounge.
Exotic cuisine.
Wait a minute. Oh, Lorraine Ave in Cleveland, Ohio. $20 gets you in. And I would assume it is what it is. We got ladies in lingerie telling jokes. Is that what it is? That is what it is.
Oh, really? So it's
no
like,
shit.
It's like Foxy Boxing, but comedy instead. I kind
God
of like
damn.
that. I was thinking it was going to be like a comedy show with like the waitresses in lingerie or
No,
something. But
they're legit
doing
wearing
it.
lingerie while telling jokes. Okay, well, this might be
Sold.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, say no more. I don't need to hear anything else.
Do we get a discount for working at Redline?
Because Redline Radio is the official sponsor of that.
Perfect. When is that again, Kyle?
August 17th. It's a Wednesday down at Exotic Cuisine. 6 p.m. to midnight. You got some fine ladies wearing lingerie, telling jokes in front of you on the microphone. Redline Radio's official sponsor. Check them out. Is this the first inaugural thing? Is this going to be an annual thing going forward?
We're going to see how this one goes. And then, we got a few other things that we're working on. We also have a remote schedule that I got to tell you guys about after.
So I'm curious.
Tell me more. I love that. So, that's exciting.
If we pay $25, do we get Tim in lingerie telling jokes?
Nope, Tim does that for free if you ask him nicely.
All right, guys, check it out. August 17th is a Wednesday at Exotic Cuisine. $20, 6 to midnight. Some ladies telling you some funny jokes wearing next to nothing.
We'll be back in a minute to stun the world. Ladies, am I hot? Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. It is time for Kyle's punishment. We'll give everybody a minute to settle in here. The Guardians just won with a walk-off thriller, Josh Naylor. It is time to do the punishment. And you're only going to see Kyle in this video because, obviously, for legal reasons, in case something bad happens, I don't want to be held accountable. So you don't know who's actually stunning him with the taser. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Justin George. Welcome to Tab Ass. This is the stunner.
I'm ready when you are.
Is it dead?
No, you got to power it on.
Oh, I didn't know it had to power
There
on.
you
It was
go.
on earlier when I was fucking with it. All right. Take two. Here we go.
Oh!
All right. He stayed up.
Do it again. Let's go. One more time.
Oh, he wants another.
Twice. Let's go.
He got it.
Woo!
I'm just saying, I need my $5. He took that like a champ, and he took two of them.
Yeah, he asked for more. He was Tiny Tim. He said, "May I have some more, please?" And I was happy to oblige. Here you go.
I think that was Oliver, though.
The cords wrapped around that chair.
My nipples are hard right now.
It better be. Good luck sleeping tonight. You're going to be so charged up. But that's even better. We got Kyle all charged up. He took his punishment like a champ.
Let's go.
In the bowling arm. Yeah, he did. He took it right in the arm.
Fuck.
All right.
All right, let's go.
And what I read about the reviews, again, people say they felt it for a while. So, you feel good? Refreshing?
I'm good. I guess it's like taking a 5-hour energy.
That's going to be Kyle's new morning routine. He's going to brush his teeth, give himself a jolt, and head on out for work. I like it. All right.
All right.
Well, back to business.
I'm so excited to talk about this next thing.
That's why I waited to do the Browns at the end, because I wanted Kyle and his full potential and the full excitement that we get. But Deshaun Watson did, of course, settle 20 of the 24 cases, the civil cases that he had.
My watch heart rate's going off.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine.
Warning.
Talking about balls first, you might be seeing a heart attack happening live on the show.
We're good. We're good. Let's go.
But, yeah, Deshaun Watson settled 20 of the 24 cases. Obviously a good thing to just get it over with. I do think he really wanted to fight this till the end, but I'm guessing his legal team, his lawyers, his agents, the NFL, the Browns, etc., everybody more than likely in his corner said, just settle. Let's get rid of it. Let's move on. It's a smart thing to do. Why keep fighting this and keep prolonging possible punishments, letting more people come out with things to say, etc.? Just put it to rest.
Yeah.
So he tried, got 20 out of the 24 women. The other 4 are still holding out for something else. Not exactly sure what they're aiming for.
I have a theory.
What do you got?
So I think that these remaining 4, and if I start jolting while I'm talking, it's okay. It's normal.
I hope that I turned you into a superhero somehow.
Cyborg, baby.
There's always that weird origin story, and there's never been one about a guy getting zapped
No
with a taser.
shit. Like, you legit feel it. So I felt it go in my arm and across here, and it felt like somebody literally just stabbed you with, like, electrical cords.
Yeah.
Felt interesting, but it wakes you up, though. Anyway, so my theory with this is I think that these 4 are the 4 that he feels, I think Watson feels, he can take to court and potentially fight and maybe prove his innocence against these 4.
Okay.
The other 20, I think, were just those cases that he either the evidence against him wasn't that strong, the evidence he had against them wasn't that strong. It's one of those, like...
So is your theory, I'm just trying to,
you're
not
fine.
playing devil's advocate, just trying to understand, is your theory that Watson didn't approach those 4 with a settlement?
No, so maybe potentially his lawyer did, but I think that he looks at these 4 as the most. These are probably the ones he had sex with. These are probably the ones that he had the most physical interaction with. That he thinks that maybe he can prove that, hey, it was consensual, it wasn't against the law.
Let's get Kyle's heart rate calmed down with a jelly bean.
But I feel that these might be the 4, or you know what? These might be the ones that said
Things stink so fucking bad.
these might be the 4 that say, you know what? No, we're not settling. We want more money.
Yeah.
And go from there. But I feel there's a conspiracy theory in there. But I think this is also the NFL might come to him and say, look, we're gonna give you 10, 12 games, but you need to settle those 4 cases first.
Yeah, I could see that, but I mean, the timing doesn't add up with that theory. I like most of your theory. I was with you, but the settling before the
God
punishment.
damn it.
You got a shitty one?
It's a dead fish one.
Yeah, enjoy. The settlement came, and then now Mel said check his pants. But today is his hearing, so he's currently on day 2 of his hearing with Judge Sue Robinson, who's going to make the possible final decision. So basically, my understanding on how this whole legal precedent works for the NFL when the punishment comes out is whatever Sue Robinson says, Deshaun Watson can agree with. Done. That's it. If Deshaun Watson appeals, that's when it goes to the NFL and Goodell steps in to make a decision. But right now, whatever Judge Sue Robinson says, the NFL can override what she says, but it makes them look bad.
Right.
Most people, from what I've read, they go, it's this woman's first time ever doing something like this for the NFL. They just hired her to do this. It would make them look really bad if her very first big job like this, they go, nah, we're going to undermine you.
Right. So, I mean, that's the thing. So I've been hearing nothing but like 1 year indefinite suspension.
Yeah.
Like that's been tossed around more than anything.
So what I saw from that, and this is coming not just from like random people on Twitter, this is from legitimate NFL sources. A lot of people think that the NFL made sure that that punishment leaked what they wanted, quote unquote. It leaked. So this way, when it's 6 to 8 games, the NFL can go, sorry, public, we tried to give him a year. We had to go with what the judge said.
Right.
So that's Goodell's kind of way of wiping his hands of it. Another theory that I heard today, which I kind of like this one, it makes sense, would be his lawyer could argue time served. Now, people at home are going to say he sat out last year, but he got paid, so it's not time served. The argument would be he will pay back his full 2020 salary, and it would be counted as an unpaid suspension then. And
that's the first I've heard that.
I've heard that one today.
I heard the time served theory.
Yep.
But that was the other side of it, was that people were saying that he got paid for that.
Yeah, and that's why they said if he pays them back, then it is an unpaid punishment. He did not play for the year, and that was a choice that the Texans had made also because they refused to get rid of him, so it was kind of like a punishment for him. And I also look at it, too. I did some research today. Mike Vick, obviously we all know what he did. He killed the dogs and shit, did the dog fighting ring and all that in Virginia. He went to jail, or prison, I'm sorry. He went to prison.
Yeah, Leavenworth.
And they counted that towards the suspension. So the NFL suspended him while he's in prison, can't play anyway, comes out, and was able to get reinstated because they counted that as a punishment.
Did you see the lawyer that he just added to the case, that Deshaun just added?
No.
One of the best litigators and just basically of all time.
For the Sue Robinson thing, for the
No,
the
for Deshaun. No, for Deshaun's side.
No, I understand. I'm saying, like, is he using her or the person for this punishment, or for like the actual legal stuff?
For this legal case going against Sue Robinson right now. Like,
Okay,
he's arguing for Deshaun Watson. And,
I gotcha.
And if you look at, I forget his name, but look it up tonight if you can. I guess
Is it Johnny Cochran?
No.
No,
I think he's dead.
He's the only famous lawyer I know. He is dead.
But he's a very good litigator, and he's known to work these kind of cases and stuff, not just NFL but other stuff, down to like next to nothing. So he's got a really good lawyer on his side. So I could see this potentially being knocked down more and more.
I mean, I've been talking with people that are just basically anti-Browns, which is fine. I'm more power to people that just want to bash on the Browns.
Steelers fans?
No, not even.
Okay.
They're trying to basically make like Deshaun Watson's like they know that I'm a Browns fan, so they're doing it to try to like push my buttons, but it's not working because I keep coming back at them with facts, and they don't want to hear it. So one guy's saying that they should just suspend him indefinitely. This is never going to end. People are just going to keep suing. And I told him today, I said there's a statute of limitations that ends in March of 2023.
Right.
That's why the NFL said a year, because when that year is up, he can't get sued anymore.
Right.
And they're telling me that that's not how statute of limitations work, and et cetera, et cetera. I just ended the conversation.
Is there another thing, though, that the NFL could do and say, look, for now, we're going to suspend you X amount of games.
Yeah.
But we could change our mind down the road.
So my understanding is, I'm sure they could, don't get me wrong,
Sure.
if more women came out. But the thing is that the NFL has been told about, he met with 66 massage therapists in this time frame of this lawsuit. So if anybody that's involved in those 66, they have the statute of limitations.
Yeah, I think it's up till March of next year.
If an outsider comes out that was number 67 that nobody knew about and says he did this with me, I have proof, that's where they could open up another case. But anybody included in the 66 has until March 2023 to get this all out there, to sue, press
so we're
charges,
hoping
whatever.
Deshaun's gotten 0 massages in the last year.
I also think the NFL is not going to go off of it they're not going to go off a number of women. It's because it's not a criminal thing. He's not being charged with anything. There's no legal, like the legal investigation is over. He's not charged with anything. So it's only he said, she said, and it's a moral situation. Makes the league look bad because he was a little horny, some shit went down. But again, nothing illegal. So they can't hold it against him of how many women it was with. They could hold it against him of just that it was a moral thing. So they could go, it should be considered one punishment, in my opinion.
Makes
it's
sense.
not, because I've seen fans that, or not even fans, but like people that have bitched and said he should get 1 game for every girl and this and that, like or 2 games for every girl. Like they're freaking out. It's like it doesn't go off per girl. Like that's not the case.
The amount of overreacting that's been going on the last
insane.
like 6, 7 months
handle
is
it. That's
crazy.
why I need it to be over with.
So let me ask you a question. Do you, as a Browns fan, I'm gonna make you think in two things. As a Browns fan and the owner of the Browns team, do you regret trading for Deshaun Watson?
No. And that's another thing that I think Browns fans need to realize with this trade for Deshaun Watson was they traded and signed him to a 5-year contract because he's here for the long haul.
Right.
Let's just say hypothetically, I hope this doesn't happen, but hypothetically, he gets suspended for the entire 2021 season. That sucks. We don't have Deshaun Watson. However, we still have that year because he's not getting paid. It's not going to count in his contract. We have Deshaun Watson coming back next year for his $1 million or whatever his first year of the contract is worth. We can rebuild the team again and go from there. I get it. It sucks. You don't want to hear that as a Browns fan because you're wasting a year of Myles Garrett. You're wasting a year of Nick Chubb. I get all that. But they traded for Deshaun Watson to be a Super Bowl contending team for the foreseeable future. Deshaun Watson's, 27, 26? Yeah. He's young. He's got another 10-ish years left in the NFL, give or take, at least, hopefully. They're planning for the long haul. This isn't a trade they made to win now. This was a trade they made to win, hopefully now, and in the future.
So what do you realistically see the judgment coming back to?
I've been telling everybody that I could talk to, I see between 6 to 10 games.
Okay.
And I also could see an appeal from Watson. But I don't think he wants
to roll the dice and put it in front of Goodell. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope because on one hand you have, and this isn't a knock on Steelers or anything like that, but you do have the Ben Roethlisberger case that they're going to bring up.
Sure.
He was charged or accused of 2 different rapes, and he fought those accusations. These were more severe, in my opinion, than the Deshaun Watson things because these had women that ended up in the hospital with police action immediately after the event. The one girl came out that she did the same thing that's happening with Watson, and hang on, we got a question from Bo here. 2 years out of football, you expect to come back? Yeah, I do, as a quarterback, because he's been training his ass off. He was still practicing last year. He's been practicing with the Browns all offseason. If he was like a running back and you needed, or a corner, somebody that you need the speed and like the game speed, I think Watson's been a quarterback his whole life. He's been great. Played at the highest college level, national championship. I don't think you just forget it.
Plus, there's some really slow quarterbacks out there who are still pretty good at football.
I mean, look at a guy like Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Well, I mean, like for instance, Tom Brady blew his knee out in New England years ago. That was the Matt. What was his name? The guy that backed him up. Matt who?
Castle.
That's it. Matt Castle came out and killed it, but Tom Brady had to miss a full year because he blew his knee out. Came back just fine, and that was after an injury.
Matt Castle got paid after that year, though.
Watson's not playing, but he's still practicing. He's staying in shape. Yep. He's doing all that shit. So I think coming off an injury is one thing, but coming healthy, taking a year off, coming on masseuses, whatever he wants to do, he's got a lot of good things going
coming
for him.
on or coming near. Plus,
I don't know. It depends on their story.
It's also funny to me, though, that you have all these local news people who are on there, like out at the training camps, the OTAs, watching practice with him, and they're giving reports to say it's like watching night and day.
I mean, again, not just saying this as a Browns fan. This is legitimate people that say Deshaun Watson throwing a football is the best quarterback they've ever seen throw a football in a Browns jersey. Like, it's just, there's no comparison. He's that good. He really is a good player. Any football fans that try to diminish Deshaun Watson as a player is just doing it to be a hater. That they clearly don't really pay attention to football. Then what are you talking about, Bo? Not athletic-wise. He's a quarterback. He knows how to... He hasn't stopped throwing a football in the 2 years.
I mean, I don't think you stop reading defenses. I don't
That's
think
what I'm
you
saying.
stop reading plays.
He's still watching the plays. He gets
honestly,
game
if
film.
anything, it's going to be maybe half a game for the game speed to catch up to him.
I mean, that's what the preseason's for.
But yeah, again, preseason.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about that at all.
But if he is suspended, he won't be in preseason, though. That's the only thing.
No, but he could still. I mean, right now he's practicing until they issue a suspension. He's able to be at the
so
facility.
I will say
and practice,
that maybe a half a game or one quarter for Rusty to kind of fall off and get used to the game speed. But other than that, no, it all comes naturally.
And even if he is suspended and he's not allowed to be with the team and at the facility, he's not just sitting on his couch eating Cheetos. He's going to be training and working out, and they're going to give him a plan and a regimen, and he's going to be fine.
Probably eating jelly.
I mean, look at the picture. I mean, that's obviously a recent picture. He's in a Browns uniform. Looks in great shape. I'm not worried about anything, honestly. Again, if it was a running back or another position player, I actually was looking for a picture because he likes to wear those really short shorts. I wanted to find one that showed that off. I thought it was kind of funny, kind of ironic. So I did go out of my way to get that one. But
you got the thigh pick. I like it.
You got day 2 right now going on with the settlement or possible settlement of the suspension. We'll see how that goes. My guess, gun to my head right now, I'm going to guess it's going to be anywhere between 6 to 10 games, and it will come out Friday.
Oh, yeah, they need a news dump over the holiday
Friday
weekend.
night news dump from the NFL to get everybody talking the holiday weekend. Every conversation, especially in Cleveland, and any conversation around football fans will be Deshaun Watson. Whether it's, I can't believe he got a full year, or I can't believe he only got 6 games. It's going to be one of those two. It's going to be either
but the NFL
a lot
always
or
has
it's
to,
not.
They always have to dominate the news cycle. So.
Always. And they're going to dominate the 4th of July, and I know it will consume my weekend. Everywhere I go, once this news comes out, will be, what do you think of the suspension?
So we're both agreeing, though, it's not going to be the full year, though.
I don't think so. I think the NFL did that to just save face. Everything I've read basically says that the only way this gets leaked is if the NFL wants it to leak. Why would they want that to leak so much?
Right.
All you've seen is they're asking for a year. That's the minimum. I've seen that everywhere. They're pushing that out so hard. It's almost like they're doing it too hard.
Yeah.
To where they want to look back and be like, we tried. Look at how hard we tried. You saw it everywhere. So, I mean, it is what it is. If he gets suspended, again, they signed him to a 5-year contract. This wasn't a 1-year rental where if he gets suspended, we're fucked. We have a young team. The Browns, look at the AFC. The AFC has young teams all over that aren't going anywhere for a while. We need Deshaun Watson on this team for years to come. 1 season, does it suck? Sure. But Browns fans, how many seasons have we gone through? It was a complete fucking waste.
2.
2 were a complete
Times
waste.
30.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think that taser warped your brain a little bit. But yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too is with Browns fans, and this is a little off topic, but it irritates me when Browns fans rip on Kevin Stefanski when he just won 8 games last season.
You see his odds to get fired or replaced?
No, are they high?
He's the 11th highest betting coach right now to be either fired or replaced.
In a 32-team league,
top.
He's right in the middle, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, give or take. I'm okay with that. I also think a lot of it has to do with because there are people that are trying to bank on Watson getting suspended is going to cost everyone their jobs, which
Right.
I think is asinine for people to think that. Jimmy Haslam agreed to make this trade. Don't let anybody fool you. The owner of the team fully committed to this deal. He's not going to give up on it because he gets suspended. I'm sure they were aware punishment was coming.
Right.
That's why they gave him a 5-year contract. He is here for the long haul. I assume Kevin Stefanski will be as well. Browns fans are dumb if they're going to hold Kevin Stefanski to this high standard with Jacoby Brissett as a starting quarterback. If you're a Browns fan and you're doing that, please smack yourself in the head with your TV or whatever you're watching this on right now because you're a fucking
Take a taser
idiot.
to the arm.
Yes. And my issue, though, is the fans that say that Stefanski's coaching last year was rough, this and that. He should, he's
play
on
calling.
thin ice, the play calling. The guy won 8 games with a bottom 5 passing offense in this day and age NFL. Rewind 5 years ago. If the Browns won 8 games, the fans would be fucking ecstatic. 8 games is Super Bowl winning celebrations
It
for
was
Browns
8
fans.
games after an 11-win season, though. So
Right.
of course they're pissed off.
But it's not even that far off. It's not that bad.
I get it.
Browns
But
fans are just stupid.
Hey, it's Cleveland fans.
Browns fans are dumb. I've said
We
it a
get
million
anxious.
times. I've had so many arguments with Browns fans with the dumbest shit because they can be really stupid at times. This is another thing. Relax. Don't be stupid. Stefanski and this regime, let's let them stay for a while. Let's see what happens. Deshaun's probably going to get suspended. Take a breath. This was all expected,
It's a great
everybody.
T-shirt idea. Relax, don't be stupid. We should
Yes,
make that.
I don't be stupid is all I wanted to say. Not even relax. Just don't be stupid. Because I get in conversations where I look at my phone and I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. I really want to just tell him he's dumb, but I'll be nice.
You take the breath and then close the
And then
app. So you don't
I
have to-
usually tell people I'll forget more about football than you'll ever know, and that really gets them mad. I love saying shit like that.
I've seen that a couple times.
Yeah, I
People.
love putting that one out there. But last quarterback on the roster, more than likely, or the next quarterback to be dumped off the roster will be Baker Mayfield. Trade rumors flew a little bit this week. You have Carolina, and then you also have Seattle.
Seattle came back into the mix.
So the rumor is people think that Carolina put this out there to get Seattle, or vice versa, either way. One of the teams is kind of throwing some shit out to get the other one to be aggressive. It's a little bit of we don't think one of the teams are actually involved. The rumor is Seattle's not really that involved. Someone's just leaking it to kind of make Carolina be a little more aggressive. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I think the Browns are in a situation where they're not just going to dump him, I don't think. And if they have to pay him the 18.8, whatever it is, why would they just get rid of him? They could just say, hey, come to practice. And if
I've
he's
said
gonna,
from the get-go that you will wait till the middle or the end of training camp.
Yeah.
Because some team's going to need a quarterback.
And legally speaking, based on the contract, Baker Mayfield has to report to training camp. If he doesn't, the Browns can fine him.
They excused him, though, I thought.
That was just for the mini camp.
Oh, I see.
Training
I'm sure
camp
they'll
is
do it
different.
again.
They might say
That would be petty as fuck if
Come
they fine him,
practice.
but that would be petty. But it'd be hilarious.
But that they honestly, if they have to pay him, I'm okay with the Browns saying, "Fuck it, we're not getting rid of you for free. You either come practice and be a team player, or we're going to fine you. It's
Right.
up to you. Show
would be-
everybody that
they'd
you're an
be
adult now, or
interesting.
get out of here." They're in a tight spot, though. I mean, training camp's starting up here in a few weeks, and we still have Baker on the team. We know both parties want him gone. Baker wants out. The Browns want him out. We'll see what happens. It's kind of a
it would
Mexican
be like
standoff.
a media nightmare if they had him show up to training camp.
I mean,
though.
you saw the media frenzy just for him doing that camp in Norman, Oklahoma the other
course.
day.
How many questions
Immediately,
were-
the first question was, "What's up with you and the Browns? Like, what's going on?" And he even said, "No, they haven't reached out for him to start." So any fan out there that's saying Baker Mayfield's going to start this year, Baker answered that question. It's not happening. Please even stop with the pipe dream. What do we got? A question. What incentive does Chubb have to give 100% this season if his QB is Brissett? The entire league knows his skills.
So worth any effort, any chance for injury to play hard if they're playing for third in the AFC?
I mean,
I think Chubb's just a team player, though.
and even then, I'm not saying, Brissett's not a bad quarterback. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say he's better than Baker, but I think Brissett's a very good, serviceable quarterback.
He's a very big game manager.
Nick Chubb's put up really good seasons with Baker as his quarterback, who you guys all know where I stand with Baker. So Chubb could have just as effective of a year. And again, we have a very smart coaching staff in front office, I think, in my opinion. So you have Kevin Stefanski, who knows he's going into games with Jacoby Brissett. We're not going to run an offense based around Jacoby Brissett. It will be based around the run game. That's why we have Dearness Johnson, Kareem Hunt. We just drafted Tony Ford out of Cincinnati. We've got all these running backs because we're going to run the fuck out of the ball.
This is
with
also why
Brissett.
I think it's important that we're going to get this decision on Watson before training camp starts.
Yeah,
because I
let's
think
just
they have
start everything,
two ideas right now going into training camp.
Yeah.
With Watson, without Watson. And here's the playbook we're running without Watson. Here's the playbook we're running with Watson.
Yep, and they're going to be fully prepared. I'm confident in this regime. Again, our first month of the season is easy,
Yeah.
relatively speaking. You think it is based on the 2021 teams coming into 2022?
The first 5 games are
you assume they're going to be
winnable.
pretty winnable and easy. So having a guy like Jacoby Brissett pound the fucking ball with Hunt, pound it with Chubb, you're going to be fine.
Johnson too. Don't forget him.
Yeah, a lot of pounding with Johnsons and stuff.
If it was
going on
any
in
other
Cleveland
running
and
back,
Berea.
Jory. Did you say what?
I said a lot of pounding of
Oh,
Johnsons going
got
on
it.
in Berea.
Missed that. Sorry. But Jory, honestly, I think if you had any other running back that was a diva, your question I think would be valid.
Nick Chubb's a professional.
But I think Chubb is one of those don't talk, just do.
And I mean, look around the NFL or any sport really. Look at guys that are really good players that are all-stars that are on shitty teams or have shitty faces of the team. There's only so many good quarterbacks. Browns finished last in the North. I think did your computer autocorrect Steelers to Browns when you type it in? Because that's the only way that's happening. Even give me Brissett over fucking Pickett any day of the week. We'll talk about that next week with the Steel City guys, though. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
I said barf.
But you ate barf, and Bo just put up a comment that made me want to barf because it was one of the worst ones of the night. I'm going to give you that. You get the award for worst comment of the night. Thank you.
Eat a jelly bean.
With that being said, we're reaching the end of the show. It is time for Just the Tip. As always, we're going to start with my boy Tim Buck2. Tim, what do you got for us this week, my friend?
So this week I actually have a song.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Highs with the Lows by Chance the Rapper and Joey Badass. I think it's kind of perfect because it's kind of, for me, it's kind of where my life is right now. You got to take the highs with the lows, man. This last couple months, a few months have been the best, worst months in my life. And it's great because you do have to take the highs with the lows. And this song sums it up perfectly. And it's a feel-good song. Even though, you're going through whatever you're going through, there's a lot of stuff that you can really do to keep yourself on the positive side. Glass half full mentality. And that's where I'm at, man. I got some movement happening. I'm calling it a transitional period of my life. And I feel like I'm in the best, worst position I've ever been in. So if you get the chance, like I said, this song is by Chance the Rapper and Joey Badass. Give it a spin, man.
I love it, man. I'm sorry you're going through that, Tim. We always got you back here talking about balls. You got to go through a little rain to enjoy the sun, as they say.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, you got a fan of the
If you
song
ever
down
need
there,
woken
too?
up, though, we got a taser if you want.
Is it a new song?
It is a new song. It actually dropped on the 17th of this
no
month.
shit. Okay.
So it's fairly new, man.
Of course, Bo knows it's a good song.
I'll give it a spin. I haven't heard it yet. I'm giving it a spin.
If
Please
anybody
do.
knows, Bo knows.
All right, next
Shout out to
up,
Bo.
Kyle.
So, for all you Star Wars fans out there, if you have not seen Kenobi yet, you're missing out. It's a show I think we've wanted since Mandalorian came out like 4 years ago. Ian McGregor returned as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hayden Christensen's back as Darth Vader. And it's an amazing show. It lives up to the hype. The fight scenes between the two of them are well worth tuning into. It's on Disney Plus right now. It's 6 episodes. They did say it's a limited series, that there was only going to be 6 episodes, but I think with the they left it hanging at the end, I think, and with the fan reaction, I think they're coming back for a second season. We'll see. There's so many years between New Hope and the next that you could probably fill in, or Phantom Menace and New Hope that you could probably fill in with new storylines. So I'm looking forward to see if they come out with the second season. But if not, it's still worth its time. Darth Vader's a badass for you Star Wars fans. I mean, the fact that he drags a mother next to her kid and snaps the kid's neck just tells you how cool. How
Was
badass
that in Kenobi?
Yes, it was.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it's one part. If you read the comics, you know how badass he is. So
I was eventually going to get around to catching up on 8 years of Star Wars that I haven't been watching.
Sure, that was never going to happen.
I used to
Anyways,
eat a Jelly Belly, by the way. It was blue, and I was really excited.
Was it
It
toothpaste?
was toothpaste, so
Not bad.
at first, yeah, it could have been worse.
anyways, check it out. Disney Plus, Kenobi. It's worth a watch. It's 6 episodes. Wouldn't take you long to finish.
All right, my tip of the week, just the tip. Black Phone, the new movie that just came out starring Ethan Hawke. I had advance passes to go see it. My wife and I saw it last week before it came out. That's what happens when you're a celebrity. When you're on the #1 show at Redline Radio, you get things like that. You get perks. You get to go to movies.
Boom.
That's what happens. You're a local celebrity. But all honesty, though, I got to go see Black Phone. I love horror movies. Love them. As you can see from my right arm, I'm covered in horror tattoos and shit. I love it. So I was excited to see this one. It was okay. It was all right. It wasn't bad. That's why it's my tip. But go check it out. Give horror some money. I'm sick of seeing Top Gun talked about in the movie theaters. I'm sick of seeing Jurassic Park. I heard that sucked. Give Black Phone a little bit of money. Let's get horror back in the movie theaters. Let's get companies to make better horror movies. Black Phone was good. Nothing wrong about it at all. It was way better than Scream. That fucking sucked. There hasn't really been a good horror movie in the theaters in a long time. Black Phone wasn't bad. It was okay. Check it out. It was worth a watch. It was fun. Ethan Hawke, fantastic. That's my number one takeaway from this movie was Ethan Hawke as a sadistic horror actor was fantastic. I thought he was really, really good, and I think sky's the limit with him. If he's going to keep doing roles like this, I'm all for it. I hope he does. I really enjoyed it. So check out The Black Phone if you get a chance.
I thought Sinister was a good horror movie.
Sinister was really good. That was Ethan Hawke also, same company. Yeah, as you see up there, it says it's from the Blumhouse, the creators of Sinister and stuff like that.
Does it say Doctor Strange?
Well, I think actually it was a writer or something. There was some tie with it. I mean, obviously Ethan Hawke was in Sinister, so there's a connection. I think it's something about I can't read it, but it's like the director of Sinister and Doctor Strange or something like that. But good movie. Check it out. It was fun. I like horror. Keep horror alive. So go see Black Phone. And on behalf of everybody at Talking About Balls, that's going to do it for us.
What an episode.
Sir, one more outburst,
It was electrifying.
and I will strangle you with my microphone wire. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you. Had to quote.
Redline Radio LLC is proud to partner with Growing Wings Adult Services for the